Hello and welcome to Nltv News Now. This is Johanna Murray and we'll start with the headlines at the hour. The NSC and GPRN held a consultative meeting on Indo-Naga political present scenario with the Lota Middle Range Public Organization at Sunny's Community Hall, Wokha. Caretaker CAO Lota Region GPRN Yampo Jungyo states that the NSC and GPRN briefed the LPRO on the framework agreement and the present political scenario of Nagaland. The Working Committee Naga National Political Groups welcomes the Nagaland state government's move to take the views of Nagaland tribes, civil societies and the non-Naga indigenous communities on issues confronting the state government and the people. Naga political issues best left to the GOI and the Naga negotiators, the Blue Sea and NPGs. The All Nagaland Hindi Teachers Union Dimapur Unit Hindi Teachers 2012-13 batch asked the School Education Department to release their 4 months pending salary. NTHMU Dimapur Unit President Pidemo Lota and General Secretary H. Daniel Sema states that the Finance Department, who had signed for the disbursement of salary 3 weeks back, however, salary has not been released. Prices of petrol and diesel in India are likely to rise by at least 15, according to reports. The likely high prices of petrol and diesel are likely to be triggered due to international crude oil prices jumping to 13-year high of $140 per barrel. Petrol and diesel prices in India are likely to rise by Rs 15. Nagaland will face Jharkhand in the pre-quarter match of Ranji Trophy 2020-21 session, which is scheduled to play at the Eden Garden, Kolkata on March 12. Nagaland is entering the pre-quarter stage of the Ranji Trophy, the premier domestic first-class cricket championship, for the first time. Nagaland to play Jharkhand in the pre-quarters of Ranji Trophy in the 12th of March. United States President Joe Biden says that the war in Ukraine will never be a victory for his Russian counterparts, Vladimir Putin, and that Putin may be able to take a city but will never be able to hold of the country. Ukraine will never be a victory for Vladimir Putin, Joe Biden. Now the news in details. The Working Committee Naga National Political Groups in the press release stated that the Naga political issue be best lifted to Government of India and the Naga negotiators. The WC and NPGs welcomed the Nagaland state government move to take the views of Nagaland tribes, civil societies and non-Naga indigenous communities on the issue confronting the state government and the people. Notably, a consultative meeting is conveyed by the state government on March 9 to have a board exchange on views of matters such as urban local body elections, Armed Forces Special Powers Act, Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act, and it may be also mentioned that all tribal apex bodies of Nagaland, customary institutions and civil societies do participate in the meetings, which is to be held at the State Banquet Hall, Chief Ministerial Residence in Kohima. The NSC and GPRN on March 4 held a consultative meeting on Indo-Naga political present scenario with the Lota Middle Range Public Organization at Sunny's Community Hall, Wokha. A press release was issued by caretaker CAO Lota Region GPRN Yampo Jungyo, which is stated that the NSC and GPRN briefed the LPRO on the framework agreement and the present social scenario of Nagaland. The NSC and GPRN members led by Kilo Kilonser M. Daniel explained the framework agreement that is enclosed the legitimate rights and safeguard the historical rights of the Nagas and establish a new relationship for peaceful coexistence of the two entities on basis of shared sovereignty. He also urged the leaders to come to as one, stand as one, voice out as one by organizing various rallies, movements of agitations and take-home message by showing resentment at a crucial period. The release also stated that the meeting unanimously decided to support the framework agreements for the earliest solution before the coming assembly elections in Nagaland. The All Nagaland Hindi Teachers Union, Dimapur Unit, Hindi Teachers 2012-13 batch has asked the School Education Department to release their 4 months pending salary. In a press release, NTHU Dimapur Unit President Peter Molota and General Secretary H. Daniel Sema stated that the Finance Department has signed for the disbursement of salary 3 weeks back. However, the salary has not been released. In this regard, the unit has urged the department to look into the matter at the earliest and disperse the salary of Hindi teachers. Meanwhile, ANHTU Mokokchung unit has also asked for the state government, particularly the Education Department, to release the pending salaries from November 2021 to January 2022, along with arrears of CSS batch 2012-15. The Working Committee Naga National Political Groups in a press release stated that the Naga political issue be best left to Government of India and Naga negotiators. The working and NPGs welcomed the Nagaland state government's move to take the views of Nagaland tribes, civil societies and non-Naga indigenous communities on issues confronting the state government and the people. Notably, a consultative meet is conveyed by the state government on March 9 to have a broad exchange of views and matters such as urban local body elections, Armed Forces Elections, Armed Forces Special Powers Act, Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act. It may also be mentioned that all apex tribal bodies of Nagaland, customary institutions and civil societies to participate in the meeting, which is to be held at a banquet hall, Chief Minister's Residential Complex in Kohima. The NSC and GPRN on March 4 held a consultative meeting on the Indo-Naga political presence scenario with the Lota Middle Range Public Organization at Sunny's Community Hall, Woka. A press release was issued by the caretaker CAO Lota Region GPRN Yampho Jungyo, which stated that the NSC and GPRN briefed the LMPRO on the framework agreement and the present political scenario of Nagaland. The NSC and GPRN members, led by Kilo Kilonser M. Daniel, explained on framework agreement that includes the legitimate rights and safeguard the historical rights of Nagas and establish a new relationship for peaceful coexistence of the two entities on the basis of shared sovereignty. He also urged the leaders to come as one, stand as one, voice out as one by organizing various rallies, movements of agitation, and a take-home message by showing resentment to the crucial period. The release also stated that the meeting unanimously decided to support the framework agreement for the earliest solution before holding the assembly elections in Nagaland. Construction of the 33 kV transmission line from DC Complex Peren to Atibung Town via New Peren Village and Old Changlok Village is completed. Executive Engineer for Electrical Division Peren Tsiamchi Ndang in a public notice informed that the transmission line will be test charged and will be kept charging with the effect from 10 March 2022. In this regard, he informed that the public to be aware and not to come close to the proximity of the charged transmission line. A tabletop exercise on earthquake was held in Kifiri on Monday at the DC's conference hall as scheduled by the Home Department of Government of Nagaland. Furthermore, during the exercise, Deputy Commissioner of Kifiri, Wati Iyer, said that the Nagaland and the entire Northeast region is located in a high seismic zone and that it is an extremely high-prone area of the earthquake. It may be mentioned that the DC further urged the stakeholders to be equipped with minimized earthquake damages throughout the mock exercise. A mock exercise on a strong hypothetical earthquake of magnitude 8.7 on Richter scale was demonstrated at Zisajib Presidency Government College on Kifiri on Tuesday. Notably, SDRF rescue team performed a demonstration on how to save lives during an earthquake. During the exercise, the team showed how to act when receiving information about the earthquake. The district operation team, SDRF, showed how to take the stock of the situation for mobilization. Furthermore, during the demonstration, the SDRF team also performed an act of retrieving a child using rope to save a child in danger at the top floor. Mike Fees Award 2020 to 2021-22 ceremony was organized on Tuesday at Sacre Park, Upper AG Colony in Kohima. During the ceremony, women from all various fields were awarded. Notably, awardees were given a cash of rupees 40,000 each along with certificates and gift hampers. It is to be mentioned that the Mikey Fees 2021-22 was awarded to Sensino Yushi, Zakalunyo Tepa, Abi Hmtoy, and Sibi Ziliang. Senso Yushi is the proprietor of the Take On Kohima, which was started in 2014. She is also a recipient of the Young Achievers Award in Field of Filmmaking, conferred by the Dalmia Group. Furthermore, Zakilinyo Tepa, 47 years, is a taxi driver professional from Mima Village under the district Kohima. Meanwhile, Abi Hmtoy is a proprietor of MS Naga Traditional Corner, Woka, a progressive entrepreneur having a well-established unit dealing in traders, attires, and customs for over 15 years. While Subale Ziliang, 81, is the first lady to contest in an election in 1987 as independent candidates from 7th Parent AC. She is presently serving as a chairperson, 6th Ward Medipuram, and 9th Ward Chairman, Union President Parent Town. Mon District on Tuesday celebrated International Women's Day. Notably, a program was organized by the District Task Force in collaboration with Konyak Nyupu Siku Kong under Beti Bachao Beti Parao scheme at the office premises of KNSK in Mon. During the program, an inter-ward marathon race for women was also organized. Furthermore, the women achievers of the district were felicitated on the occasion of International Women's Day. DRDA Zenupoto on Monday bade farewell to RT Project Director K. Inavi Chishi at DRDA Rest House Zenupoto. Furthermore, Deputy Commissioner of Zenupoto Peter Litamo, while delivering his speech, said that serving the government and retiring in good health is the most valuable gift one could get, working with full dedication. He also thanked and appreciated the family members of the retiring officer for helping him serve the government by shouldering many responsibilities of the family. Meanwhile, the retiring officers exhorted the department to always be dedicated to one's work to yield blessings and hold one's head high while retiring in the future. Tuinsang celebrated International Women's Day on Tuesday at the Town Hall of Tuinsang. The program was held under the aegis of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao in collaboration with the Women Welfare Society and Book Club Tuinsang. During the celebration, DC and chairperson of the BBBP Tuinsang, Kumar Ramnikwant, prized the meaning of sustainability to the gathering and its importance to gender equality. He also said that the celebration of International Women's Day should also be equally participated by the menfolk so that the topic discussed in the occasion can equally educate the male counterparts for a peaceful society. He advised the mothers gathered in the program to create a conducive environment for both boys and girls and begin experiencing gender equality from home. Notably, celebration marked with competitions on pampered speech, extempore speech, and quiz. Commemorating International Women's Day, NABARD Regional Office Dimapur in Nagaland with Youth Actions for Social Welfare organized a program at Tizit. During the celebrations, Konyak women from Tizit area came together with a prayer and a message to enhance the leadership quality of women. It is to be mentioned that there was a group discussion for celebrating gender party, while some women shared their experience having a meaningful meeting for the first time where the importance of women was being deliberated. The 4th edition of Bhandari Interdepartmental Sports Meet 2022 in support of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao kick-started on Tuesday at local ground in Bhandari with Additional Deputy Commissioner of Bhandari Rohit Singh as a special guest. The ADC said that it was encouraging a witness to continue efforts by the government servants of the subdivision to hold the sports meet under the aegis of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao to spread awareness on gender equality and discrimination against women. He also stated that such strong sporting platform allows exhibition one's talent and also promotes the spirit of cooperation to accomplish a common goal together. Notably, football matches were being played later in the day where Team BWT RNB, Pakti Housing and PHED defeated the Education Department by 2-0, and District Administration Police also defeated the Medical, GHSSS and Soil and Water Conservation Department team by 7-0. Prices of petrol and diesel in India are likely to rise by at least Rs 15 according to the reports. The likely high prices of petrol and diesel are likely to be triggered due to international crude oil price jumping at 13-year high of $140 per barrel. Moreover, the value of Indian rupees on Tuesday languished at 76.97 compared to US dollars. Meanwhile, Union Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has stated that the government will take decisions on the prices of petrol and diesel keeping in mind the interests of citizens. Moreover, BP and Shell, which also announced it would stop buying Russian oil, said that they wouldn't be able to immediately distinguish themselves from Russia due to long-term contracts and difficulty in finding alternatives. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden also announced the sanction against Russia, including the banning imports of oil from Russia.
I'm going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home. In coordination with our partners, we've already announced that we're releasing 60 million barrels of oil from our joint oil reserves. Half of that, 30 million, is coming from the United States. And we're taking steps to ensure the reliable supply of global energy. We're also going to keep working with every tool at our disposal to protect American families and businesses. I'm going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home. In coordination with our partners, we've already announced that we're releasing 60 million barrels.
The Meghalaya's High Court has directed the State Chief Secretary to ensure that illegal mining activities are stopped without delay, and committee are from political interference to set up monitor to implementation of Supreme Court's direction and recommendation. On the issue, the 3-member bench full of High Court took up the matter after its recent visit to East Gentia Hills District along with Chief Secretary R.V. Suchiang to see in person the situation in continuation with the illegal mining activities in the area. Reports have been filed by the Chief Secretary and the Director General of Police indicating that some actions have been taken. However, it is evident from the direction issued by the Supreme Court that it has not been adhered to. The The High Court bench stated that it is necessary to monitor the mining activities and also come down heavily to the district administration for turning a blind eye at the ongoing illegal activities. The body of an Indian student, Navin SG, who was killed in a missile strike by Russian forces on Ukraine Kharkiv on March 1, has been located. This was informed by the Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Momoy on Tuesday. The CM furthermore said that the body of 21-year-old Navin will be brought to India after the intense shelling by Russian forces on Kharkiv ceases. It may be mentioned that the Navin's body has been located and is currently kept in a mortuary. Furthermore, the CM also informed that the body of Navin has been embalmed. Meanwhile, the CM informed the Indian embassy is in touch with the officials of the mortuary where Navin's body is kept. Notably, Navin SG, hailing from Karnataka, was killed during the heavy artillery shelling of the missile strikes by Russian forces on March 1. Air Marshal B. Chandrasekhar took over as Commandant of the Air Force Academy of Indian Air Force on Tuesday. Notably, new commandment hails from Telangana and underwent his schooling in Hyderabad prior to joining National Defence Academy in Kandawasla. He is an alumni of Defence Service Staff College in Wellington Flying Instructor School, College and of Defence Management and National Defence School, New Delhi. He also commissioned into an IAF on December 21, 1984. It may be mentioned that he has more than 5,400 hours of incident fire flying on various aircrafts. On the occasion of International Women's Day, Gundala Pochalami Railway Station in Telangana was declared as an all-women station. Notably, all the women staff was deployed to handle all the day-to-day activities including train operations, technicians, ticketing, security and other relevant duties. At the station, it may be mentioned that the Gundala Pommali Railway Station is one of the suburban railway stations in Sundarabad Medical Section. "57 Indian sailors have been evacuated from the under-siege Black Sea port at Mykolaiv city in South Ukraine. Notably, Indian sailors were evacuated from under attack of the Mykolaiv port under intervention of the Indian embassy in Kyiv. 2 Lebanese and 3 Syrian nationals were also evacuated along with the Indian soldiers. The Indian sailors were evacuated from the Mykolaiv port in 2 buses that traveled over 200 kilometers to reach the border with Moldova. The evacuation of Indian sailors followed a ceasefire between the Russian and the Ukraine forces to create humanitarian corridors. Notably, 23 more Indian sailors still remain stranded in the under-attack Mykolaiv port. United States President Joe Biden said on Wednesday that war in Ukraine would never be a victory for his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin. Biden said that Putin may be able to take a city but never will be able to hold the country. The US President said that it is already clear that Ukraine will never be able to victory for Putin. Putin may be able to take a city but will never be able to hold the country. Furthermore, Joe Biden announced a ban on U.S. imports on Russian oil, gas and energy in response to Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Biden also added by saying that Russia oil will no longer be accepted at U.S. ports and the American people will deal with another powerful blow against Putin's war machine.
I'm going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home. In coordination with our partners, we've already announced that we're releasing 60 million barrels of oil from our joint oil reserves. Half of that, 30 billion.
The United States Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo issued a stern warning on Tuesday to Chinese companies that might defy U.S. restrictions against their exporting of Russia, saying the United States would cut them off from American equipment and softwares they need to make their products. The Biden administration could essentially shut down semiconductors manufacturing, international corporations, or any Chinese companies that defy U.S. sanctions by continuing to supply chips and other advanced technology to Russia. The United States and European Union and other governments have also issued sweeping sanctions and export controls in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The export controls prohibits the sale of certain high-tech products, including advanced semiconductors, to Russia and Belarus. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky has said that he is no longer pressing for membership in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Zelensky said that he has cooled down regarding the questions of NATO membership for his country after he understood that NATO is now ready to accept Ukraine. Notably, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that the allies are afraid of controversial things and are confrontation with Russia. Furthermore, Zelensky also added that Ukraine did not want to be the country that is begging something on its knees and did not want to be that president. It may be mentioned that Ukraine seeking membership in the NATO are the key reasons for which Russia invaded Ukraine. Meanwhile, Zelensky further said that he is ready to discuss the status for the two breakaway pro-Russian regions of Donetsk and Luhansk. Foreigners who have joined the fight against Russia in Ukraine will be eligible to acquire Ukrainian citizenship. This was informed by the Deputy Interior Minister of Ukraine, Yevhen Yenin, on Wednesday. Notably, over 20,000 foreigners have volunteered to fight for Ukraine against Russia in the ongoing war. Meanwhile, over 3,000 volunteers who have picked up arms against Russia for Ukraine are citizens of the United States. On the other hand, Ukraine had announced the formation of an international legal region territorial defense of Ukraine for foreign volunteers to help the country in war against Russia. Moreover, Ukraine have been urging foreigners volunteers to arrive in the country to assist in the fight against the Russian invading forces. Nagaland, after securing an emphatic win over Mizoram in the Ranji Trophy 2021-22 season at Eden Garden, Nagaland will be facing Jharkhand in the pre-quarter match, which is scheduled to play at the Eden Garden, Kolkata on March 12. 7 toppers of the elite group have directly qualified for the quarterfinals, while the team with the least points will face the plate group. Topper accordingly, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, Karnataka, Mumbai, Uttarakhand, Punjab have directly qualified, while the 8 teams for the quarter semifinals will be decided by the outcome of Nagaland, Jharkhand and quarter encounter starting March 12. Nagaland is entering the pre-quarter final stage of the Ranji Trophy, the premier domestic first-class ticket championship for the first time, and it remains to be seen whether the team would repeat its unbeaten run in the current season. Robert Lewandowski scored a record-breaking 11-minute hat-trick to send Bayern Munich sailing into the Champions League quarterfinals with a 7-1 win at home to Red Bull Salzburg on Tuesday. The Polish striker had 3 goals to his name by 23rd minute, in the earliest anyone has ever completed a hat-trick in a Champions League game. Austrian champion Salzburg had held Bayern to 1-1 draw in the first leg, but their hopes on the upset in Munich were left in tatters. Hat-trick from Lewandowski, a brace for Thomas Müller, and a goal from Serge Gnabry and Leroy Sané puts Bayern Munich in UEFA Champions League quarterfinals comfortably. In the other fixture of Champions League, Liverpool took an Inter Milan to an empty field in Liverpool, England. Despite the Lautaro Martinez goal and Inter best efforts, they slip out of the Champions League, with Liverpool progressing to quarterfinals, even though they were able to beaten 1-0 on the day. Liverpool's unbeaten record at home is broken by the resolute Inter side, but the Reds qualifies for the Champions League quarterfinals with a 2-1 aggregate score. Former South African captain and Royal Challenger Bangalore RCB wicketkeeper AB de Villiers has announced retirement from the all forms of game after Indian Premier League IPL 2021. However, IPL 2022, de Villiers is set to return to his T20 league but in a new role. In an event of Saturday, RCB are likely to reveal de Villiers in the role of mentor for the franchise. According to sources, Kohli himself requested de Villiers to join the coaching staff as mentor after the Indian batter stepped down as captain of this side after IPL 2021. The RCB are also set to name de Villiers' countrymate Faf du Plessis as new captain for the IPL 2022. RCB has also called for a press conference on March 12 at 4 p.m. for the same. Thank you for tuning in. For more updates, keep watching Nagaland TV.
Nagaland TV, Stop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 10 in Global Chapter, and for Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill